Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're diving into some pretty complex waters. We're talking Indian corporate law. But don't worry, we're right there with you every step of the way. You've sent us a whole bunch of regulations and amendments, and it seems like you're really trying to get a grip on these recent changes to India's insolvency resolution process.
Yeah, you're right on the money there. And the thing is, these aren't just, minor legal changes. These amendments have some serious teeth, and they're going to directly impact how quickly and effectively companies in distress, can actually get back on track.
Okay, so before we get too deep into the weeds here, can you give us a quick overview? What exactly are these CIRP regulations, and why should we even care?
So think of the CIRP, the corporate insolvency resolution process, that is, as a lifeline for businesses in India that are facing some financial headwinds. These regulations are kind of like the rule book, right? They lay out the rules. Basically, it's about giving financial creditors a more direct line to the action. You see, these are the folks who've often, lent big money to the company that's struggling. Now, if they're on the ball and file their claims on time using this Form CA, they get to choose an insolvency professional to be their representative.
So it's about making sure that the people with the most at stake have a say in how things play out. I like it. But then there's this whole section on a model timeline. You even circled T180 with a big question mark. Are we on a clock here?
Oh, absolutely. In the world of corporate insolvency, time is definitely of the essence. That T, think of that as the starting pistol the moment things kick off. And they've got 180 days, ideally, to come up with a resolution plan. Now, the cool thing is, these amendments actually streamline the whole timeline, removing unnecessary steps and roadblocks to speed things up.
Wow, 180 days. That's not a lot of time to turn a company's fate around. No wonder you flagged that. So speed is essential, but what about the nitty-gritty? There are some changes to how claims are submitted and verified, right? Anything there that surprised you?
Well, let's just say they're really cracking down on late submissions. Creditors who miss that initial deadline, they can still try to submit their claims, but they better have a watertight excuse for the delay, especially if they're more than 90 days late.
Yikes. Sounds like they mean business. It's like showing up late to an important meeting. You better have a good reason. But why the sudden emphasis on, running a tight ship and these strict deadlines? What's the thinking behind all this?
That's where things get really interesting. It's about, well, think of it like fine-tuning an engine, really. You're not just cracking the whip. You're making sure everything runs smoother, faster.
Okay, I'm all for a good tune-up. But how do all these changes, the representatives, the timelines, the deadlines, how does it translate into a smoother ride for struggling businesses?
Imagine you're a global investor,
Yeah.
right? And you're eyeing India thinking, should I invest? Now, you see a company in trouble, sure. But you also see a system that says, hey, we're taking this seriously. We're going to move quickly and efficiently. That's got to give you some
It's
confidence.
like we're open for business and we mean business.
Exactly. It shows commitment, a fair, predictable environment. And it's not just those big investors. Everyone wins. Creditors, they might actually see their money again. Struggling companies, they get another shot, a real chance to turn things around. And the employees, well, they can breathe a little easier knowing their jobs are a little bit safer.
So it's like a ripple effect, rescuing one company but also strengthening the whole system.
You got it. That's why these amendments, they matter. It's not just lawyer stuff. Anyone who cares about India's economy should be paying attention.
I'm starting to see that. Okay, for someone who's still, trying to connect all the dots, what's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing they should remember about all these changes?
Proactive.
Yep.
Got to be proactive. The days of, oh, we'll wait and see, those are over.
So whether you're lending money, running a business, even just thinking of investing, you got to be on your toes, ready to act fast.
Absolutely. Know the rules, especially these new ones, and be ready to move. Because those deadlines, they're tight. That could be the difference between, well, a comeback story and a complete collapse.
That's some really solid advice. Now, earlier you mentioned something interesting about how these CIRP amendments, they might even change how someone approaches doing business in India altogether. Can you expand on that a bit?
Let's say you're about to sign a deal with an Indian company. In the past, maybe you just focus on the financials, right? But now you're looking deeper. How efficient are they? How's their debt? Do they even follow the rules?
So due diligence just got a whole lot more thorough. You're not just looking at the numbers anymore. You're looking at how they operate, how adaptable they are under pressure.
Exactly. And think about the deal itself. Maybe you build in some clauses, just in case things go south, something that acknowledges these new timelines, make sure everyone's on the same page if there are bumps in the road.
So it's about being proactive, not reactive, knowing the rules of the game and making sure you're covered.
Right. And for those running businesses in India, wake-up call, got to be lean, got to be efficient, and good governance. That's
Yeah.
not optional anymore. It's got to be baked in from the start.
Because a healthier business environment, that's good for everyone, right?
Well, 100%. And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive, well, hopefully you're coming up for air with some valuable insights. And remember, staying informed, it's a journey, not a destination. So keep those questions coming.
Well said. Until next time on the deep dive, keep exploring.
So we're talking about really changing the game here. It's not just about understanding these new CIRP regulations. It's about adjusting your whole approach, right? Absolutely. Think about it. Let's say you're, getting ready to sign a big deal with an Indian company. Before, you might be just focused on the financials. But now, you're digging deeper. How efficient are their operations? How much debt are they carrying? Are they even following all the rules?
So it's like due diligence just got a serious upgrade. You're not just looking at the balance sheet anymore. You're really trying to understand how they operate under pressure.
Exactly. And you might even start, building in some safeguards to the deal itself. Clauses that take these tighter certain timelines into account. Just make sure everyone's on the same page if, things don't go according to plan.
It's about being proactive, not reactive, knowing the rules of the game and making sure you're protected.
Right. And for those businesses in India, this is a real wake-up call. You got to be lean, you got to be efficient, and good corporate governance. That's not optional anymore. It's got to be part of your DNA from day one.
Because at the end of the day, a healthier business environment benefits everyone, right?
100%. And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive is giving you some real insights, some food for thought. But remember, staying informed is a journey, not a destination. So keep those questions coming and keep exploring the fascinating world of business.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time on the deep dive, happy exploring.